Calculating percentage of amounts without a calculator. There's several basic rules that you need to know for calculating percentage of amounts. First, you need to know how to find 50%, 25%, 10%, 5% and 1%. Well, to find 50%, for example, if you want to find 50% of 80, you do 80 divided by 2, which is 40. So to find 50%, you divide by 2. Now, secondly, to find 25%, you do, so if you want to find 25% of 80, you do 80 divided by 4, which is 20. So to find 25%, you divide by 4, because 25% is a quarter of 100%. To find 10% of 80, you divide by 10, which is 8. So to find 10%, to find a tenth of 100%, which is 10%, you divide by 10. To find 5%, firstly you need to find 10%, which we've just done here, and then we divide it by 2, because to get from 10% to 5%, you divide by 2. Now you could also say that's the same as dividing by 20, but the best thing to do is to find 10% and divide it by 2 to make 5%. 1%, well, 1%, you need to divide that 100% you start with into 100 equal bits. So to find 1% of 80, you divide by 100. So 80 divided by 100 is 0.8. So find 1%, you divide by 100. Now you need to know all these basic percentages we've just looked at. So 50%, half of it, 25%, quarter of it, 10%, a tenth of it, 5%, half 10%, and 1% is divided by 100. You need to know all 5 of those off by heart, because you could be asked to use any of them in an exam. So you can also combine these percentages to find different percentages. So for example, we can find 35% of 240. We can do this by splitting the 35% up into 3 lots of 10% and then an extra 5%. So to find 10% of 240, you divide by 10. So 240 divided by 10 is 24. Now, we want 30% because we want 3 lots of this. We want 10, 20, 30%. So we're just going to times what we just found by 4. Now you may have noticed I've accidentally made a mistake over here. I accidentally put 240. It should be 24. So to find 30%, we're going to take 10% and times it by 3. So 30% is 24 times 3. So if you can't do that, you need to use the grid method. So 20 and 4, and you've got your 3. So 60, 12, which makes 72. Add those two up. Finally, we need to find 5%, which remember 5% is half of 10%, and 5% was 24. 10% was 24, so 5% must be 12. And finally, to find 35%, we need to add our 30% and our 5% together. So 35% is equal to 72 plus 12, which is 84. So 35% of 240 is 84.